Welcome. Hello, everybody. My name is Sebastian. I'm Managing Director at the CAREERTEAM group. We are a headhunter focused on the areas of digital and IT. And in the next couple of minutes, I would like to present you what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how. So let's start with the most important things of every company, the vision and the mission. So we want to be the most innovative executive search firm with a data-driven recruiting approach and an industry-leading company culture. And our mission is to build great teams. And all of you know, if you really want to build great teams, it's not only about finding the people with the right skill set and the right work experience, but also with the best cultural fit. And this is why we combine the people's business side of recruiting, so really understanding who will fit into a certain team, with a search process that is enhanced by our software, by algorithm, by A/B testing. So all of you know that there is a shortage of talents. Here are some figures that really show that many companies are looking for IT and digital experts and have problems to find them. And many of our customers are asking us, what shall we do? How can we attract those people? What is really key? And the picture has totally changed. So it's not the candidate that apply for a job any longer. It's more that the companies try to attract talents in the best possible way. And we were founded 8 years ago, not from the HR, with an HR background, but from Truventuro. This is an Hamburg-based company builder, and Truventuro founded many companies like Home2Go, Finanzcheck, so meta search companies, and they've realized 8 years ago that it's difficult to find the right people for those companies, and that many headhunters are not really specialized on digital and IT. On the one hand, and on the other hand, almost no headhunter is really working with specialized software, with a real search process. And so this was the founding idea of CAREERTEAM. Let's combine digital tools with the people's business of headhunting. And by now, we are more than 200 people in 8 locations. We are also active in France, in the Netherlands, in Zurich, in Austria. And we also founded different brands. Why did we do that? Well, we found out that first, it's really important to have a high expertise of recruiting teams. So when you talk to candidates, for example, with software developers, you really have to understand all the frameworks and the programming languages and so on. So this is why you need a high expertise if you really want to talk on eye level with candidates. And on the other hand, we found out that a certain brand converts better with a certain candidate. So alpha coders, for example, if you are looking for software developers, this works much better than you have CAREERTEAM or another brand. So this is why we have different brands for the different areas and branches. And the 3 things that really differentiates us from others is that we focus on digital and IT. So right now we have more than 230 searches in parallel. So by doing so many searches, of course, the network is growing. We have by now more than 400,000 people in our database. And of course, the experience of our recruiters are growing over time. And then we have really a data-driven process. I will show 2 or 3 examples of that in a minute. So all the process steps that can really be enhanced by software and tools are optimized in our process. And finally, there's one thing that we really separate: the sales part and the recruiting part. And this is key if you want a high quality, and high quality means the best fitting candidates for an open position. Because our recruiting teams are really focused on finding the best people and not on finding new customers or optimizing turnover or so on. So in looking on the process, you have the customer acquisition part, you have then an in-depth briefing, you have a search process, and of course you work with your customer. And mainly the 3rd step, the search process, is the thing that really can be made better if you use software and really optimize the process. So what we did was we built a whole software landscape around certain tools that we bought. We developed many microservices and processes around those pieces in order to really optimize the process. And yeah, how does it work? For example, if we're looking for a certain position, there are some categories, and then we have a so-called search string generator. That means that our system is suggesting additional synonyms for the search so that you can really be sure, if you go through all the different platforms, that you find a maximum of possible candidates. And then it comes to the rating of those candidates that we have in our long list, and then we really store in our system all the information that we gather while doing this search. So for example, if we are looking for a product owner with 3 or 5 years of experience, and then we find someone who has 8 or 9 years experience, then our recruiters click, okay, too senior for this role, but then in the background, this information is stored. So for the next search, where we're looking for a more senior candidate, we can start with a long list that has been developed in the background. So these are small examples, but that really make the search much more efficient. And then we are also looking on all the KPIs. So for example, if we are contacting candidates, we really track, okay, what is the conversion rate? How many have responded? When have we contacted them? Is it better to contact on a Tuesday or on a Friday or on a Monday morning? And if you do it for all the positions, for all the searches, then you can really learn more, and the system is learning more about who will we find where, how to contact the people. Yeah, and finally, the most important thing is that the customers are happy with what we are doing. So this is why we are also tracking our Net Promoter Score all the time, which is quite high, fortunately. Yeah, and finally, I would like to end with something one of our recruiters posted on LinkedIn, because I don't know whether you have experience with headhunters, but many say, this is not the best business. But Dustin, one of our recruiters, put it very well, I think. He said, well, I've got to admit, the sheer joy a candidate scoring an interview experiences is awesome. Even though I'm not the one getting an interview, I can wholeheartedly experience the pleasure with them. The whole ride is amazing. Contacting strangers, opening their view up to certain possibilities, having them explain to you their own views on things, and at some point, finally and hopefully share with them the joyous grand finale of starting a new position, one that makes them even more happy, even more fulfilled, and even more eager to utilize and grow their potential. I love it. So here you can see it's also a great thing to find candidates and to open up new possibilities for them. Thank you.